You wake up as President of the United States. What would you do? Fix that *ucken pothole at the end of my block. Quit. I can't deal with that stress. Go pee. I almost always have to pee when I wake up. I'd take a week to binge classified documents, then I would resign. Marvel at the epic bender I must have just been on, to not remember an entire political campaign. Require the yellow lane dividing lines on the road be painted with glow-in-the-dark paint. Give away millions of peaches for free. Look out. I would tell everyone to execute Order 66. Wonder how I crossed an ocean in my sleep. Hit the snooze button 2 or 3 times. Awake, dreading having to get up. Have sexual intercourse with that woman. I would eat the Constitution. Therefore I would have the ability to channel the power of the Founding Fathers. Announce that Scientology has lost its tax-exempt status. Fall back asleep. Attack Switzerland. Learn all the top secret, most classified stuff. Then write bits of it to tabloids until the tabloids are so wildly unbelievable that no one will believe when they're printing 100% true facts. Find out if we've had any contact with aliens. What happened to Epstein and exactly how much does the government track its citizens? Panic and then resign. Nobody needs me being the president. Daylight savings is gone. Make insulin free for anyone that needs it. It's ridiculous how much people have to pay. I would take Air Force One to Area 51. I want see what is really there. Resign and let someone qualified have the job. Resign and enjoy the retirement pay for the rest of my life. Go to the oral office. ITT. People thinking that presidents have the power of literal gods. Either change the internet term, cookies, to something else or require web pages that use cookies too. Send free cookies every time someone clicks accept cookies. You know what? I'll finally have healthcare, so I'm treating myself to a doctor's visit, dentist, and some therapy. Most of y'all really overestimate the power of the president. Get some chocolate chip ice cream. Get ready for the day, and if there's nothing on my schedule, write an executive order removing cannabis from the Controlled Substances Act. Then eat something, I guess. Edit. I would probably make Bernie Sanders my VP. Sign other executive orders such as making it more difficult for other elected officials to stay in office past a 3-4-year terms. Making it more difficult for Republicans move polling locations in areas unfavorable to them, as well as new restructuring of voting rights to curb modern Jim Crow laws. Expanding Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and unemployment, welfare. Improving infrastructure including outlawing all asbestos products. Believe it or not, it's still legal as long as the amounts aren't high. Rededicating a small amount of military funds to improve sidewalks and roads. Put a cap on rent amounts in large cities. Limit the NSA's surveillance of private citizens. And start a program to lower insulin and prescription drug prices by trading with Canada and penalizing big pharmaceutical companies. Oh, and I'd obviously take a piss before getting started with the day. As others have pointed out, I'd need. Well, after having a well-balanced, delicious breakfast and explaining to my wife that I have no idea what the hell is going on, I'd do my best to make my way to Capitol Hill, where I'd cockpunch McConnell right out in the lobby in front of everyone, and then head back to the Oval to take care of whatever actual important shit needs to get done. Legalize it. Move into the country. Eat me a lot of peaches. I would make the SEC do their job for once in their lives. Do what I usually do when I get up, look at my phone. I'd spend one day a month working with the Innocence Project to pardon people that were likely wrongfully convicted yet failed to get a retrial. Apart from that, I know enough to know that most people overestimate the actual power of the executive branch. But my expertise isn't really in politics or policy. I'd probably spend time making sure I had a competent cabinet and group of advisors to get me up to speed. Search for the Holy Corpse. Set up a Twitter account. I'd get up around 4 a.m. and start tweeting stuff like, lowest rated Oscars in history, and great. Now I can go after Horseface and her third-rate lawyer in the great state of Texas. She will confirm the letter she signed. She knows nothing about me. A total con. Quote. Get hounded by the media who would act more like paparazzi than objective journalists. First thing that I'm gonna do is disclose all those UFOs, put Jimi Hendrix on the $20 bill. And Bill Hicks on a 5-note. Resign? I don't want, and shouldn't have, that much responsibility responsibility. It would be a nightmare for everyone. Tell everyone to subscribe to my YouTube channel lol. Make a coffee. Roll a spliff and try to sort my life out. Same as I do every day. Except this morning I'll forgive student loan debt. Implement social health care and defund the military by around 75%. Then I'll go back to bed. Decrease the amount of power the president has. Smoke a cup of coffee. Take a shit. Rub one out. Then start planning my zero-tolerance crackdown on spam callers. Restore the fairness doctrine to make news outlets only report verifiable facts and impose fines on those who don't. Try to get an amendment passed banning for-profit prisons. Tax, for-profit, churches that make over $100,000 a year and or interfere in politics. Restore net neutrality. Offer financial incentives for telecommunication companies to expand coverage in rural areas. Threaten congressmen and senators with term limits until they passed Medicaid for all. Stop funding ineffective charter schools and invest heavily in public education. Erase student loan debt and subsidize college tuition for students at or above a 3.0 GPA or for students wishing to enter trade or vocational schools. Expand mental health care infrastructure in rural areas. Jerk it in all the rooms. I'm the president, they can't make me wear pants in my own house. Term limits and ban lobbying in Congress. Stop funding Israel. Push for marijuana legalization. Secure the border. Make Trump VP and then resign. Grab popcorn. Nice try, Joe. You need to figure this out on your own. I'd make Donald Trump President of the United States just to piss people off. Many executive orders. Companies and the government cannot collect data on individuals without going through a process. Similar to trials. Lobbying is illegal. Insider trading will actually be enforced. Politicians can only have limited investment portfolios to prevent insider trading. Red light cameras are illegal. Police training reform. Minor traffic offenses will be low priority. We will pay taxes according to our income. No more exploitation of people that don't have the means to find legal loopholes. I could keep going. It's nice to dream. Send that ex-cop who killed that kid in the hotel hallway in Arizona straight to prison. Retail employees are now allowed to beat the crap out of the customers who are mean to them. Make liberals and far-right fight to the death after bringing back the Colosseum. A special every night would be a hand-picked politician or pedo to fight a pack of lions barehanded. Sign executive orders forgiving all student loans. Ending cash bail. Eliminate private prisons. Regulate Wall Street. Legalize recreational marijuana and expunge all weed-related prison sentences. Then I'd have lunch. Find some hair to sniff. Panic. Ask Reddit what they would do. Stop bombing brown children. Wander into the office of every single member of Congress and cuss 'em out for being the most self-obsessed, greedy, inconsiderate, out of touch, slanderous people on the planet. Then I'll push for increased accountability of all government workers. Put a maximum age limit on all offices. *UCKU. If I can't be in office until I reach a certain age, then your old ass can sit the *UCK down at home and let the current generation deal with it. Paid parental leave. Minimum 6 months for primary caregiver and 3 months for secondary. Edited to remove moms and dads from the idea. Immediately get up and go have my chef prepared waffles and eggs Benedict in the Oval Office in my undies. Send a fancy plane to get my grandma and mom to come hang at the WH with me. Go to war with Nestle over their water rights and shit cause they're just the worst. End the drug war and dissolve the ATF. 2 chicks at one time. Guess I'm contacting the American side of my family to let them know what is up. Dunno how much stuff your president can do, but I'll try to cut military spending a fair bit. Get you lot some government-funded healthcare. Invest in infrastructure. A big thing that helps economies of areas is infrastructure. Better roads, public transportation, etc. I'd like to start getting rid of your guns. That's not happening overnight, so we'll start with much more stringent restrictions for owning one. Legally. Might look into making your VAT rates the same countrywide. The fact they're not leads to wacky stuff. Change the way taxes are done so that the government does it automatically for you like over here. Oh, and obviously your police forces are in need of massive reform. I'd just be copying the way the Met do things. Independent investigatory bodies. Body-worn enforced and officers required to justify all uses of force. Hopefully that works out well for you lot. Secretary. Hold all my calls. I've always wanted to say that. Figure out who my VP is and whether they are more qualified than me. Spend all my time stripping the office of the president of its powers. A country founded because of its hatred of central power has done nothing but centralize power and allow every president to grab more and more power to make seriously impactful presidential orders. And rule by fiat. Monica Lewinsky. Enter a horse race to try and find the body of Jesus Christ. Abolish the Federal Reserve and the ATF. The EPA and National Parks are cool though. Start talking about aliens, and the end of the world being September 27, 2026. Change Trump's Diet Coke button to a craft beer button to lend my presidential support to a new brewery each week. Well, that's the first thing. The second thing I would do is solve racism. Forever. Always.